There is still a moment now to stop this war. I am not here as a politician. I am here as a soldier who understands service, as a humanitarian who has seen the human cost of conflict, and as a friend of Ukraine who believes the world must not grow used to this war or numb to its consequences.
So Meghan and Harry just made headlines again with Harry's Ukraine speech challenging Putin. But body language experts are calling out something deeper: psychological manipulation and control tactics that explain their bizarre behavior patterns. We're breaking down the expert analysis revealing the shocking truth about their dynamic.
So I always say whoever uses this term has none class. The kid ain't got no class, Kinsey. Because you don't do that. This guy's controllable. That's why we're seeing him bouncing all over the place, because he doesn't know who he is. He thinks he's this prince or whatever. That's where I think inside that's the way he sees himself. But the insecurity he has says, I don't know who I am. That's why she's in charge of everything. That's why it's always about her. And he stands there like, yeah, she's awesome, because he's controllable. Anybody that will do that, and you'll go from way over here to way over here, then try to end up in the middle and be all serious and go way over here. He's not in charge of himself.
This professional assessment nails the core issue. The complete personality shift we've witnessed isn't natural development. It's classic psychological control. When someone oscillates between extremes this dramatically, bouncing from cause to cause without consistent identity, that's textbook manipulation behavior.
I have a theory that Meghan realized that Harry had a mother wound, that Harry, you know, ached for this figure that he lost early on that really was a wonderful mom to him. And Meghan took advantage of that and became sort of a maternal figure to him in a way. Is there any association with that, of like her mothering him, loving on him? I believe that's manipulation, but also realizing that the fastest way to get things done is to make him think it's his idea, because that would explain so much, starting with Megxit, starting with Harry and Meghan leaving the British royal family. No, that was his idea. That wasn't my idea. That was Harry's idea. When really, we never had any inkling of Harry wanting to escape the British royal family until she comes along.
Using someone's deepest trauma, losing his mother at 12, as a manipulation tool is absolutely diabolical. The timing is undeniable. He showed zero interest in leaving royal duties for 30+ years until she appeared. That's not coincidence. That's calculated psychological warfare.
Well, that's a classic. I mean, that's the way sometimes kingdoms are run. I mean, that goes back ages and ages. There's even a show called The Blackadder that's a really funny show, but it's about how this guy who they always put him in different positions. Like if he's the butler, he's actually the one that's running England because he has the king's ear like that. And he controls the king, gets done what he wants done, because it's like Machiavellian to the ultimate. He gets what he wants done from the person with power by controlling them without them knowing it or anybody else knowing it. They make him feel smart, make him feel like you nailed it, it makes him feel like it's his idea. And don't you see what's happening here? That kind of thing. And they back up and see.
These aren't amateur manipulation tactics. This is sophisticated psychological control with centuries of precedent. The Machiavellian approach of making the target believe decisions are their own while pulling every string is exactly what toppled kingdoms throughout history.
Meghan, you're brand new into the family. Not everybody's going to immediately like you, or they don't know you, and their guards are up because they're in such a unique position. And she's going to him going, they hate me. They're being so cruel to me. And don't you see that that them asking about the baby's hair color is racist? And he's like, is it? I'm red. I have red hair. Like, is it?
Yeah.
But no, he goes for it. And he goes, you're right. Let's leave. Let's flee.
That's the way it's done. That's the way you get it done. If you're getting that style of manipulation, It's Machiavellian, is that style.
Notice how he initially questioned whether the hair color comment was actually racist. His natural instinct was doubt, but she convinced him to override his own judgment. That's the manipulation in real time, getting him to abandon his own perspective for hers.
No, I will always be part of the royal family, and I'm here working and doing the very thing that I was born to do. And you know, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being able to do these trips and come and support the people that I've met before, the friends that I've made, and hopefully bringing attention to issues that, you know, for one reason or another drop out of the news because something else has popped up. But you know, I'm grateful to all of you guys being here and telling these stories that so desperately need to be told. I understand focus will shift to different places, but ultimately, as I said, what I see, what I hear, and what I learn is that the vast majority of people, whether you're in the UK or whether you're anywhere else in the world, want to see proper leadership, and they want to see an end to these conflicts, whether that's through diplomacy, however we can bring these conflicts to an end for the sake of everybody now, but also for the future of younger generations coming through.
The delusion is complete. He genuinely believes he's still functioning as a working royal when the entire world knows otherwise. This level of disconnection from reality shows how thoroughly the manipulation has rewired his thinking patterns and self-perception.
He loved that question and he was ready for that question.
Yeah, but let's talk about his body language when he asks the question, because we see a whole lot happening there. He does that, oh shucks, you know, oh shucks, it's just me. I'm a prince. Yeah, you know, kicking the dirt. Oh shucks, yeah, I'm a royal. You know, that's why I'm here. Just trying to help, man. But watch what happens. He has that blink flash where he blinks really, really quickly. You know, his blink rate goes through the roof there just for a second. So that lets us know there's a little stress there. But at the same time, he's almost batting his eyes at this guy. So you can look at it two different ways. It could be stress, and I think it is a little bit stress because he knows that's not true, that he's a real royal from what he's saying. But you see him pop up a couple of times. When we get good news, when you see somebody who's on the phone and they get good news, and they'll pop up a little bit, you know, like the kid is okay or something. Oh, okay, great, that's great. Or when somebody's getting married and you see the groom sees the bride come out, watch how they lift up real quick. So we see him do that.
What's the good news he's getting? That Chris Shipp still thinks he's a royal?
Yeah, that he's calling him a royal, and people are going to hear it. But let's listen to how he's talking. He gets really quiet after that because he knows he shouldn't be talking about this, and he's wishing that question hadn't been brought up. All those little shoulder shrugs let us know that he's not confident with that answer, because that all shucks thing was at the first.
His body language exposes the internal conflict perfectly. The rapid blinking shows stress because he knows he's being deceptive, yet he continues anyway. That's what happens when manipulation overrides someone's natural moral compass and self-awareness.
Yes, sir.
How's he doing? How's his wife? Please give him my regards, okay? No, I don't know. I know one thing. Prince Harry is not speaking for the UK. That's for sure. I think I'm speaking for the UK more than Prince Harry. But I appreciate his advice very much. Great advice.
Trump immediately understood the power dynamic. He asked about the wife first, then dismissed his authority entirely. World leaders recognize he's not operating independently, which makes his diplomatic attempts not just ineffective, but potentially dangerous.
You see, she's controlling him. She got him, and she's trying to live out her fantasy of what she thinks that world is. Does that make sense?
It is.
So
It
that's
does.
why it looks so weird.
It looks weird, but it also feels like there's no depth or sincerity, that they are using these people. I mean, especially when Meghan Markle then takes the wardrobe she was just wearing while embracing sick children and tries to earn a commission off of it on an app. It doesn't feel real. And so I don't want to see it from them.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. And it's again, she's living out her fantasy.
Monetizing charity visits with sick children through affiliate marketing apps is beyond disgusting. It proves this was never about humanitarian work. It's about building her personal brand using royal connections while exploiting vulnerable people for profit.
So she is trying, the app, all of these investments. These are not, I think she wants us to think that she's this fierce feminist who's doing this stuff by herself. But the reality is nobody knew who she was before she married Prince Harry, and nobody would care about her if it weren't for Prince Harry today.
The irony is staggering. She's convinced him he needs her, when reality is completely reversed. Her entire relevance depends on his royal status, yet she's manipulated him into believing she's the valuable one in this partnership.
Without talking about the other. 2 reasons. Number 2 is you can't talk about him because, you can't talk about him without talking about her, because she won't allow it.
Yeah.
She won't allow you to talk about her without talking about him. She always brings him up. So yeah. So they're one entity, basically. If you can't have one without the other one. That's what I'm saying. If they get divorced, I'm not feeling sorry for this guy, not even a little bit.
Merging their public identities wasn't romantic unity, it was strategic control. By making herself indispensable to his brand, she ensures he can never function independently again. It's psychological imprisonment disguised as partnership.